Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Rebellious D and Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Yeah, you know it, baby.
Good to go, man.
Yes, we do. And it is Friday, and y'all know what we do on Fridays. We reviewing a Marvel series, and it's not WandaVision. It's Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 2, The Star Spangled Man. And joining us on today's review is Mr. Kwame from the Raise Fist podcast. I said that right?
Raise Fist Media.
Raise Fist Media. I'm sorry.
No, you good, brother. You good.
No, don't let him out that easy, bro.
Yeah, don't let him off the hook, Kwame.
Let him off the hook.
Hang him back. Hey, hang him back up there.
Up, man. Hey,
Look. Hey, well, look.
Rewind thing. Do your little
if I say
thing.
Raise Fist podcast, that means that it's leading to something. Like maybe I revealed something that is in the works that isn't out there yet.
Maybe
so why you always trying to ruin
spoke it
stuff?
into existence?
Yeah, thank you. I spoke it into existence.
What you doing is ruining people's stuff like Tom White. Ruin Tom White's movie. Now you're ruining
Trav,
his
relax. Take it
Fast
easy.
in that fire.
Tom White's a friend of
cup,
the Leveling
Trav.
Up with Benjamin Banks podcast. Right. Check out his episode either on YouTube or look it up on any podcast streaming service or music streaming service, as I like to say. But yeah, like I said, we are doing episode 2 Falcon and Winter Soldier. And before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. So let's go ahead and get into today's review. Oh, go ahead. What was that, Trav?
First off, I just say don't confuse me with D, man. Look, D, he mixing us up, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we do sound alike.
I mean, y'all are both wearing glasses, so it's kind of hard.
Nah, you know what it is.
Come on, wow.
It's because they rolled up on D, and I had to come in and be like, "Sir, do you know who this is?"
D had D. Hey, D. They didn't recognize you without your uniform on, man.
That's right. I
had to use that white privilege on them.
Hey, D. Now you know if you would have had the hat on, they would have definitely known who you were. But you didn't have the hat on. They didn't know.
They had a beanie.
The
uniform. Sorry, guys.
They thought you was they thought you was Michael. You know what I'm saying? Like, But yeah, so
good episode though.
Yeah, really good episode. I loved how it started off with Walker on Good Morning America, pretty much being interviewed because he's the new Captain America and giving his take on why he is Captain America and why he was chosen to be the new Captain America. It was a really good opening. We also saw him at his old high school.
So, he went to a black high school, bro.
Oh, for sure. That band?
Jumping.
Yeah.
Hey, that intro was fire, man.
Hey, like, that intro was fire.
When they were showing like the Marvel cinematic stuff and then like you had the band playing, I was just like, okay. Like this is one of the things that I love about this series is how they take stuff from Black culture and they put it in the series. And, we saw it in episode 1 and we saw it in this episode, like how we were just joking with D about how he didn't have his uniform on. That's something that happens with Falcon in this episode where they go to the neighborhood to find Isaiah Bradley, who was he was the first in the comics. He was the first person to be able to bond with the super soldier serum. And Bucky knew who he was. They didn't mention that in the episode, but when I heard the name, I was just like, yo, I know who Isaiah Bradley is. Well, did they even say his last name or did they just say Isaiah?
Just Isaiah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like, as soon as I heard the name, I was just like, yeah, I knew who that was. D, I know that you're our comics expert up here on the podcast. Did you want to go more in depth into who Isaiah Bradley is?
I think you pretty much covered
what else
it
is
this
there
time,
to say?
Banks, and I mean it was great. Yeah, I mean it's fun, and I like him doing his homework, man. It counts when we're spot on.
Thank you.
It was a great Easter egg, I think that might be part of the reason why they left it kind of ambiguous. Like they just said Isaiah, like maybe they want people to go look him up, and shed more light on him, because once you go down that rabbit hole, Yeah. Trav, did you have anything to add on it?
That rabbit hole.
I mean, Trav, Trav, you can touch on his grandson.
His grandson, baby. The Patriot.
Yeah, now isn't Patriot one of the Young Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah. Young Justice.
Isn't he?
Young Avenger.
Young Justice. That's DC.
I got DC on the mind.
Oh, don't,
bro.
You know how I feel about that DC, man. I might start shaking. Stop, Trav.
But yeah, nah, man, he's part of the Young Justice. That was cool too, because like, I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Type of thing. That's kind of how they kept it.
Exactly.
It gave me vibes to Ant-Man and the Wasp when they just like I like how they're throwing in heroes, but like not necessarily like we don't have to tell you that they were a hero. Like they could be past their prime, and just like crack a joke about like an old war story or something. It's a really nice way to do the Easter eggs and get in some more obscure characters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean,
I like it, Kwame.
I just thought it was interesting to see these characters and to bring in new faces to the series. It was also cool finally seeing John Walker in action, and we see that he has his own Bucky as well, and that is Battlestar. Dang, my notes went away. Oh, there they go.
His notes. You see?
I was surprised. I was surprised. Value Mart Cap had some moves on him. I was like, okay.
Hey, we're on A, and that's exactly what he is, Kwame. Value Mart, because that ain't Steve.
I was like, they did him no justice in that like freeze frame picture of him in the mask.
In the first episode,
he looks like a melted Captain America doll. Like just the way his face looks in the mask. He looks so much better in the second one when they took the mask off.
Yeah,
exactly.
People were comparing him to the old man from Up.
Yes.
From Up.
Bro,
exactly like he got that smash chin. I told you that I know that guy from the son of
what was
Kurt Russell.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
He's an overlord.
Yeah,
Overlord.
That's what it was.
He does. Yes, he doesn't look anything like he looked in that movie.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah.
He was a complete badass.
He's also the dude in 22 Jump Street.
22 Jump Street.
Yep, that's the other one.
That was the first movie I had ever seen him in.
Yeah, me too.
Jump Street. Yeah.
I think they cleaned it up well in the second episode as far as the look, because he looked goofy in that.
Bro,
for sure.
Who were the superheroes in Kablam? They had like the melted
Action
man.
League Now.
Oh wow!
Yes.
He looked like an Action League Now superhero. Bro.
Yeah, I can see that.
My man brought up Kablam.
Right, that's right.
But I liked how when they were fighting on top of the trucks. But before we get to them fighting on top of the trucks, like when they were when Bucky was chasing after the truck, I was just like, man, this man got speed. Now, I mean, we knew that when we saw him in Civil War and all that other stuff, but to see him running with the truck, I was just like, man, why can't the Flash look like this when he's running?
Let's take it easy.
Because the Flash ain't the White Wolf.
Hey, he's the White Panther. You get it right now.
Easy.
He said, "Nah, White Wolf."
Yeah, it was funny.
Bam said, "What?"
He said, You've been hanging in Wakanda. Like, you think you're the White Panther now? I love
the White Panther and the Black Falcon.
Oh yeah,
that joke got me.
The little
they
kid,
did such a good job, man.
He calls you the Black Falcon. He's just like, well, because I'm black. And he's like, yeah.
So does that make you black kid?
This show, maybe y'all covered it on the first review. This show is funny as hell, man. I was not prepared for how witty it was going to be. This is like, I'm a big buddy cop fan, and this is hitting all of my like 80s buddy cop movies vibe, the dynamic those two have.
Sam Eddie? Is Sam Eddie Murphy?
Which one's your favorite buddy cop film?
Oh, man.
If you had to choose one.
If I had to choose one, that's tough.
Me, I'll go ahead and say mine is Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I was going to say Lethal Weapon. It has to be Lethal
Weapon.
I
like Another 48 Hours if we're going to count that, because that's what they remind me of. That's exactly what they remind me of.
Yeah, those are great movies, dude, but it's Beverly Hills Cop all the way. If you want
that's a
movie that you just can't put on TV nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're all so good, man.
But look, bro, Beverly Hills Cop, that's banter. Back and forth there at its finest.
Same thing with Rush Hour. That's another one.
Same thing with Rush Hour, definitely.
See, this is the thing with, once again, I have to compare, dude. We're doing this, and this is a great example. But you see how seamless Marvel stuff is. Their transitions, the comedy, the timing, it's just well written.
Yeah.
I mean, and the actors that they pick, man. I mean, look at it. Just look at the product as a whole. It's great. Love it.
Yeah,
the way they weave in and out of genres, like Cap 2 being a straight up spy film, you know, this being like I got a little of it in Thor Ragnarok, the kind of buddy cop vibe, that dynamic between Thor and Hulk, but this is the buddy cop one that I want. This is like Bad Boys with Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you on that, man. But you know, like I said, when they were fighting on top of the trucks, and Bucky, he got overwhelmed, and when what's Falcon's Red Wing.
That's what it is.
When Red Wing came in, he was just like, man, I've always wanted to do that.
I had in my notes R.I.P. Red Wing, man.
Oh yeah, he was getting.
I was like,
he hit it with
this murder in the second episode.
He hit it with the South Park sorry too. Like, we're sorry. Sorry about you.
Remember they were walking down the street. He was like, "Sorry about your real." He was like, "Yo, no, you don't need that."
Yeah, but I mean, it's like I feel like that whole opening scene, like with the action sequences and everything, like the entire time I was watching it, I was just smiling the entire time because I was just like, man, this is so cool. This is badass, man. It's like they're going back and forth, and then John Walker, he comes swinging in. And then you have a Battlestar. He comes in.
Hoskins, bro.
Lamar. Like,
hey, man, they was
trying to say it.
I'm loving Hoskins, bro.
Hey, they was trying to carry him.
Yeah, I know. He said I'm gonna need a little bit more than Hoskins.
He said Battlestar.
Yeah, they gave him no credit. Zero.
Bucky was just looking at him. He's just like, you're not my Captain America.
Yeah, that's right.
And I love the whole dynamic of, you know, Sam, he gave you the shield. You know, you were the person that he chose to carry that. You were his living legacy. Now, when he said this, it reminded me of Final Fantasy, because how Zach, he passed the Buster Sword to Cloud, and he was just like, yo, it's just like, you know, keep this sword with you, like, because for those people who never played Crisis Core, because there are people who haven't played it.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, just
or even seen the anime.
I've never seen the anime. I know about it.
It's Last Order or Final Order. I think it's Last Order.
I think it's Last Order.
Fantastic, though.
I heard about it. I just never watched it, but I did play Crisis Core. And then, you know, you find out the history of the Buster Sword, how it was Angel's at first. And
bro, I could go on and on about Crisis Core.
It got passed down to Zach, and Zach passed it down to Cloud. So, you know, I got that those vibes when Bucky was telling Sam. He's just like, hey, like, Cap, he chose you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And you just gave the shield up. But at the same time, Sam, he has his reasons for giving the shield up, because that's a lot to carry. Like, it's kind of like how, Kwame, we've talked about this before, where we've mentioned how when Jason, he was the original Red Ranger, and then he passed the mantle over to Rocky. It's like Rocky had some big shoes to fill, and like that's
Rocky filled him though. Rocky filled
until he fell out of that ring.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like
we don't talk about that though.
I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Rocky was never able to fill Jason's shoes, man.
Hell no, man. Rocky was cool. Don't take any credit. He was a cool guy.
Rocky's cool.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Rocky, he was cool, but he, like, when I looked at Rocky, I was just like, I don't see him as leadership.
Yeah, he's more like a Blue Ranger.
Bro. I'm starting a campaign right now. Rock with Rocky.
Hashtag
rock. We bringing him back, man. Respect the Rocky.
Nah, it's like they got rid of him and replaced him with a kid. It's just like I never forgave him after that.
Oh yeah, that was so weird when they replaced him with what was that kid's name? Yeah, come on.
Hey, so
can't take that serious.
I remember I was having a conversation with Griff about because Griff, like, he's so adamant on Justin coming back to a Power Ranger series and leading the team because he's an adult now.
He would.
And I told Griff, I was just like, bro, you know what would be awesome? I was just like, when Justin, when he morphs, he turns into a kid when he morphs this time around. And Griff hung up on me, and I was
of course
like,
he hung up.
Yeah, anybody would hang up on him.
Rightfully so. This guy.
But why? I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Like, he transforms into a kid.
Thanks. I was trying to give you a lot of respect this episode, but here you go.
Bro, he passed it to you. You was wide open for the touchdown, bro. You muffed it.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy doing? I'm trying to leave him alone.
You know what would be cool? If Rocky turned into like a kid.
Yeah, what next? Tommy's gonna come back again?
Exactly.
Come on.
Hey, but on some real though, it got real when Bucky was talking about that, because he was like, if he was wrong about you, maybe he was wrong about me.
Exactly.
And it got real.
I actually, go ahead, Kwame.
I was gonna say I didn't expect I'm a big I cape hard for mental health, and seeing that be such a theme in WandaVision was really dope. I really like how they handled all that. It made it way more impacting and meaningful to me.
Kwame.
I did not expect them to carry a lot of that over into this, but they're right there in the feeling. Them with the therapist was some great scenes, and they use it as a joke kind of, but they got serious. Real.
Remember, this was recorded before WandaVision, so they really paved the mental health way of them doing things in the MCU.
I just want to
go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I really, really like the way that Falcon and Bucky are just or Sam and Bucky, we'll go with that. They just aren't accepting of this guy at all. They're not buying it, but it's Sam's I don't care, but I don't want to roll with you.
Bro, Bucky said, let's roll up on him and take that shit.
And then Sam was just what happened to us last time.
Bro, Sam was like, you trying to set me up? I already got the cops in the street on me, and now you want me to do this?
Hey, and Bucky, he had that Winter Soldier look in his eye when he said that too.
No, he was dead ass.
And remember, James was just does he always look at people like that? He was yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah,
he's been through a lot.
Hey, John don't want that though,
bro. When they went back and forth with this, when Sam was like, "Oh, you gonna like this one?" so they can stare at each other. That shit had me rolling.
Dude, it's just the chemistry is amazing between them.
I mean, but they had that before when we saw that in Civil War.
Exactly, and they
back and forth. But now we really get to experience.
It was almost like a test drive, and they were like, "Yeah, this is definitely gonna work. We can do this."
But I feel like Sam, he's always been like that, because remember, even in Civil War, after T'Challa had when they were all in the car together, he was just so you like cats, huh?
I think we could say this. Sam's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like anybody except for Cap.
Yeah. He let him into his life.
He respected him the most.
He was doing his thing.
He lost his boys though.
Yeah, and he was just living by himself. If you think about it, he was doing his thing down at the Y, and he didn't want nothing. But I just want to bring up the car scene. Remember when they were sitting in the buggy?
He said, "Can you move your seat up?"
Yeah.
Made my boy move to the middle.
Man,
something else. It was something I was about to bring up about. When Sam was calling him Buck, and he was just "You're not allowed to call me that." Cap's the only person that called me that. Something I wanted to bring back up was the whole scene where the cops had rolled up on him, and how powerful that scene was. I mean, because just last week we had the scene where him and his sister Sarah had went to the bank and they couldn't even get a loan. But it's just the guy at the bank, he was praising
and that was their
him.
hometown, dude. You got to think that too. Yeah, that was their hometown. Their family had gone through that bank as well. It wasn't just a bank.
Yeah, and it was just nah, we can't do anything to help you. But then it's just then in this episode, it's the cops show up. And they're they're questioning him, and I'm just man, it's just why are they doing this? It's he didn't do anything wrong, and it took for the other cop to say something in order for him to realize that he was Falcon. You know what I'm saying? It made me think about that sketch. Well, not the sketch, but when Dave Chappelle was on stage telling the story about how when he had got pulled over by the cop, and the cop knew who he was, and he let him go because he was Dave Chappelle. But then it was the next week, that same cop had killed the guy in the store, and Dave Chappelle just says if I wasn't Dave Chappelle, what would have happened to me? And I feel that's something that I loved how they touched on in this episode, where it's just Falcon, he still goes through this stuff, even though he's helped save the world countless times. This man has helped so many people, and it's he still gets questioned by the police, and they act like you said earlier, Trav. They ask Bucky, "It's sir, are you all right?" It's just it's because he's a white man in a black neighborhood. He's the one that's in trouble. So
which in a not funny moment, that was a little hilarious considering he got a whole ass metal arm. He's probably the biggest threat on that block at that exact moment. You're like, sir, are you okay? Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, and it's even Cap, even Falcon will get it, but it makes sense, and I feel like it's not new because like it's an interesting dynamic for them to touch on that because you even look at like a lot of black soldiers when they came back from the war, how they were treated, like a very similar thing that Falcon's going through, which, you know, with that kind of a rough relationship with the state, I can also understand maybe another dynamic of why he may feel some type of way about being Cap.
Yeah. I mean,
that's true.
To piggyback off of what Kwame's saying, I think that it's good to have these moments because as superheroes outside of their costumes, it makes them real heroes because they're able to relate to everyday people. Yeah. The same stuff that can happen to them can happen to you. And I think that's part of the message that they want to send with this kind of stuff. It's like, that's twice now that Sam has been, you know,
profiled.
Profiled. Yeah. So I think it's fun.
Yeah, it was something else I was going to bring up about, how with James Walker being Cap now. I think I had mentioned this on last week's review, or if not on last week's review, I mentioned it on one of our podcast episodes where Steve Rogers, it's like, you know, he was created by the government. And when he was first Captain America, we saw what he was doing. Like, they weren't using him to, you know, go out and battle and whatnot. He just pretty much stayed in America and he was a mascot. And it kind of seems like that's what they're doing with James. Whereas it's like they are using him more than Cap, but he's a mascot. Like he's a symbol. They have him going to these places and whatnot. They have him going on Good Morning America. Cap wasn't doing any interviews. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Like Cap was always out there on the battlefield doing his job. And that was the one thing that I loved about
not
Cap.
in the beginning though.
Yeah, but it's
no, that's what I was saying. Like in the beginning, yeah, that's what he was. But then it's like after he got away from that, because he wanted to go fight, and like that's the reason why he became a soldier.
Well, this is the thing too. Yeah, go ahead, Banks. I'm sorry.
No. It's just
I was just gonna go back and forth with you a little bit because it was like they tried to promote Cap that way, and he wasn't having it. And I think John is more of the government's product. You know, he's more of. I don't think they have the same inside. You know what I'm saying? They just he's gonna do what they tell him to do to whatever extent. You know, and Cap wasn't trying to hear that.
And it's different times too.
I don't know him too well I don't know him from the comic book, but do you get that? Because I was kind of getting the vibe like he's gonna go rogue and try and solve this his own way.
I think he's in the comics wise, he does whatever it takes. Like he's more lethal, a more lethal Cap, and he's more government oriented. Like if Ross would have told him, "Hey, I want you to take these guys out," guess what?
He would have took him out of Civil War.
Exactly. He's more of a hired gun in a way. Like if that was him sitting at that table with Tony, he would have signed it. And that would have been that. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, he would have turned Wanda in like that in a snap.
Yeah, and the thing is, you got to look at Steve's upbringing. When he came up, Steve ain't had nothing. You know what I'm saying? This guy just, you know, he probably played sports at his high school and all that stuff. So it's very different if we were to sit down and compare and contrast the two.
You're talking about someone who was bullied.
Exactly.
And versus someone who was probably like the star quarterback.
What Bucky say? He used to shine his shoes. All he had to do was shine his shoes to stay with him. Yeah, come on, man. Steve didn't have anything, and when he got everything, he was the man, the real man. So
I agree. I wanted to touch on the Flag Smashers. We got to see more on them, and we got to see one of our good friends, one of our good buddies, one half of Big Man Inc., Mr. Renes Rivera.
Who's the other half?
His brother.
Bro?
Yeah, his brother. Yeah. Hey, watch
brother?
The episode when we had Renes on and he told the story about it. It's his brother.
Oh, I need to rewind.
I don't think D was with us when we originally had
that. Y'all didn't have all the Dragon Balls
yet. That was year one. That was
year one.
But yeah, hey, I'm happy that Renes is a part of the MCU now. It's awesome. Like when I saw it, like I marked out, like the dude, he's humble, man. And, you know, I appreciate him coming up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks multiple times and just nerding out with us. So with him already being a huge nerd, I know that like this moment right here is very special to him. And it's huge because you're in the MCU now. And I just want to know, like, where is his character going to go from there? It's just like, I feel like when he was on The Gifted, it's like he really didn't really have that many lines. He was more of a grunt.
Power, yeah, he was a power character.
Yeah, whereas up here it's just like he sat on the bed. He's like, yeah, that's too small.
I mean, he basically like threw stuff and
yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, like that was cool.
What she said.
I'm wondering like what's gonna happen with the Flag Smashers, because it seems like they aren't bad people.
No,
they just want the world to be I guess equal for everybody, because it's like after the blip happened, it was just like people who pretty much came from nothing, they were pretty much on the same level as everyone. But then once people came back, it's like they were like poor people again. It's like
what happened was what Thanos said was going to happen was people were going to have better lives.
Yeah, for real.
And they had better lives. And now you got all these people coming back and they're like, what about us? Like, you're setting all these things up for them.
Yep.
And you leaving us out to dust. And, you know, we've been here, bro.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
love that whole storyline, even to the whole not getting the loan. You know, because they said, you know, we changed the policy after the blippers came back, and I love that they keep that. Seems to be a resounding theme of like this people who were displaced. Versus the ones who are coming back and so I'm really curious to see how they're going to tie that together. But I get this feeling, even in like, it's funny that you say that your homeboy is like a real humble dude, because like he seemed like a kind person for a bad guy, like even in the way he looked,
very nonchalant,
like a gentle giant almost. And I'm like, the minute I started seeing this, like I get the vibe that they're not like bad, or they're being manipulated or something. They seem like they're like out here fighting for, you know. I know a lot of villains think they're the hero in their own story, but this felt a little different. So I'm real curious to see what direction they take that in.
It's very neat to see where they go with it. I definitely agree. I'm sure we all agree. And a good comparison, since you brought it up, is comparing the Flag Smashers to Zemo. You know, Zemo he was doing what he thought was right. Like they killed everybody. What was that? Was he from Sokovia? Not Sokovia, but
Sokovia.
No, it was Sokovia.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, his family was there. Yep.
Yeah, I just know they blew up a lot of stuff in multiple movies.
When your daughter gets murdered because of somebody,
and your wife,
you know
your
what I mean?
grandparents,
It's like,
or her father.
And that changes things.
It's like that movie, Law Abiding Citizen.
Law Abiding Citizen.
Good movie. So it's
Great
just
movie.
interesting to see how they bring him in. We know that they're going that way next episode, and how does that correlate with the Flag Smashers? I wonder if he's going to get into their head. Yeah, you know. So.
I mean, it's a possibility.
We're getting a Hannibal Lecter, right? We're getting a Hannibal Lecter moment with him, right? That's what this next episode has to be, right?
Yeah, we're getting a Michael Blake.
Oh God!
But
you know, something I wanted to bring up with Carly, who is the leader of the Flag Smashers, because I know Trav had mentioned that this is the same actress who was in the Solo movie, and she was the leader of the rebels in the Solo movie. So it's cool that it's like that was a Disney movie too, and you know she's in another Disney movie. I mean, not movie, but TV show. And she's
just another big franchise.
It's another big franchise, and it's like she's the leader of this group. And like we saw in Solo, the rebels, they were considered the bad guys, but in reality, they were trying to fight to make the universe better for everybody, which is kind of the same thing that they're trying to do here with everybody that came back after the blip. Something else that I wanted to touch on is with WandaVision and now with Falcon and Winter Soldier, we are seeing how adults are handling coming back after the blip and like being in these situations that we didn't see in Spider-Man Far From Home, because it's like they were just teenagers. So to them, it's just like the only differences that they saw were that like some of the people that they went to school with, they had aged a couple of years, or they aged in 5 years and whatnot. But I mean, like it was nothing serious. It was nothing really major that affected their lives after, you know, the blip happened. But I mean, it's interesting seeing stuff like this. And Trav, I know that you haven't really watched or gotten into Tiger and Bunny, but one of the things that I love about this, if our viewers that don't know what Tiger and Bunny is, it's a superhero anime, and it deals more with adults than it does, in your traditional animes where it's always teenagers and whatnot. You can kind of compare it to My Hero Academia, but it's more with adults though, and the situations that they go through when it comes to being heroes. So I love the adult themes that we're seeing in both of these series.
Yeah, and I just, I don't want anybody coming on here and attacking us, but I just want to correct you real quick and let you know that it wasn't the rebels she was the leader of. It's a gang of pirates, dude, not the actual rebels.
But isn't
Cloud
that
Riders, baby?
But I thought that when that was like, because then they showed like the rebel symbol at the end of the movie.
Not in Solo.
I believe they did.
No, I think you're getting that mixed up with Rogue One.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Rogue. I'm pretty sure that's Rogue One that had the rebel symbol.
Well, what would it? Well, in Solo, like what would? I felt like it was like the start of the rebellion and Rogue. I mean, not in Rogue One, but in Solo.
Well, the rebellion was already going on, but her
in Solo?
clique wasn't. Yeah, her clique
or were they trying to help the rebellion in Solo? I think that's what they were trying to do.
No, they were trying to sow it so they could get money for their people. They're just pirates.
Yeah, they were just pulling a heist.
They're just pirates. They were just pulling a job. Heist.
Okay, I mean, well, it's been a minute since I've seen. So I thought that they were trying to help the rebellion. I know, and Rogue One, that was the mission.
Right,
it was to help the rebellion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been years. But anyway, I mean, like back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was a really good episode.
Definitely.
It was honestly, I feel like these last couple of weeks they've just been filled with nothing but heroes, and everything that has come out so far, minus the Flash, has been a knock out of the park. Like Superman and Lois, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and then now with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then tomorrow you got My Hero Academia returning. So it's so much stuff that's going on now with heroes, and I forgot.
I noticed you didn't bring up the Flash.
Kid Cosmic is another one. What'd you say about the Flash?
I said I noticed you didn't bring up the Flash.
No, I said something about the Flash. I said minus the Flash.
He said specifically about the Flash.
Because I watched this week's episode of the Flash, and I was just like, wow. Because it's funny because me and D were talking earlier. Well, not earlier. I want to say it was yesterday. And I was telling him, I was just like, man, maybe we should start doing reviews for the Flash, because there are people who still watch
You have fun with that. With that.
And look, after I watched the episode last night, I said, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's hard to watch.
Hey, how
bad you want them clicks?
Hey, I'm not getting into the Flash because we kind of rambled on about that on one of our reviews the other night. But yeah, like I said, really good episode. Kwame, thank you for joining us on today's episode. And before we wrap this thing up, 1 out of 10, what do you give this episode?
I'm going to give it a 8.5. I'm going to give it a strong 8.5. I'm going to give it a strong 8.5. It would have been an 8, but the banter in the therapy scene, just that put it at that 0.5, because I'm a die hard for these buddy cops.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How close you want us to get?
Right. Hey,
they need
between the legs.
They need to get handcuffed together at some point.
Yeah.
Oh God. D, what do you give it?
I'm gonna ride with Kwame, man. Give it an 8.5. I give it an 8.5 just because there's still more they can do with it. They aren't really pushing it, as high as they could. Sky's the limit. I agree. Trav?
Sky's the limit. Look, I don't work in halves. You know what I mean? It's whole numbers for your boy. So I'm rocking it with an 8.
Hey, but Trav, I wear a 9.5. What should I do?
Hey, you know what? I wear a 9.5, bro.
Nah,
I do.
Did we just become best friends?
Hey, next time I see y'all, I need y'all to get real close.
Real close.
Oh, Lord.
Like staring contest.
There you go, Trav.
Me and Trav gonna pull up the chair.
Max Goof.
Eye to eye like Max Goof.
Oh,
hey,
Lord.
And speaking of Max Goof, check out our interview with Jason Marsden. It is up on YouTube, or if you want to listen to it on your podcast or music streaming device, you can. So I'm gonna plug everything that we got because y'all need to know what we got.
You the plug, bro. You the plug.
Hey, for sure. For me, I'm gonna go with you, Trav. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 as well. I thought it was a solid episode. The action was on point. The dialogue, the scene with Isaiah Bradley, then the scene in the whole scene in the hood was just I felt that. I felt that. I feel like being a black man, it's like you witness stuff like that. You see stuff like that. Especially growing up, and it's like I've been in one of those situations where it's just like when I was working at Party City and like a cop was questioning me. I'm just out here with my
screaming
friends.
at a white man. They rolled up on you.
I'm just hanging out with my friends. I mean, I know D has stories because back in his youth when he was skating out Ocean View, you know what I'm saying? So
I've seen some stuff.
This dude done gave. What else was he doing? This guy put them all on blast.
Yeah, man. There was one time. There was a Korean guy tried to pull a gun on me because he thought I egged his house. Yep. And if I was back in my grandma's. Yeah, and then if I wasn't in my grandma's neighborhood, all the older people, small community, they come outside, then he gets skittish and leaves. Yeah, I never see him again, man. It was crazy. But yeah, man, I've seen some stuff. So
it's crazy. Man.
Bro, you should have told me the only eggs I got is at my Maruchan.
Yeah, I got 2 for you. Huevos. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of ramen, I did have some tonight, and it had 2 eggs in it. It was good.
Hey, I hope you think about me from now on when you eat your ramen with 2 eggs.
Hey, I see you got on the ramen noodle shirt, man.
What I just said, bro.
Trav,
Trav, it's like we were both in the Speed Force at the same time.
Oh, stop! Please don't bring that up.
Trav,
CGI.
Hey, Trav, I need you to run like Barry Allen was running in the Snyder Cut, where he was going like this with the hands, like the rope.
Hey, all you gotta do is get a camera and shake it real fast in front of your friend.
Oh my god! Hey, man, for real though, I'll say I loved Ezra Miller. Like watching the Snyder Cut, like I liked him more. And that,
I'm glad you said that.
That is not my Barry Allen. That is not my.
I'm glad you brought him up.
There's nothing in the way he talks, the way that his body language is, the way that he runs.
Bro. He's a good Flash.
I like him as the Flash. Allen, I think he's a better Flash than Grant Gustin's Flash.
Come on, man. And with that being said, hold on. With that being said,
I like Grant Gustin. I think Grant Gustin plays a really good Barry Allen.
What do you mean? Banks,
this makes no sense.
It does make sense. I get what he's saying.
Go ahead.
The reason why I'm saying this?
Hey, Banks, we hear what you have to say.
Hold on, D. Hold on. I used to be a diehard Flash fan when that show first started, and after watching last night's episode, I was just like why?
That's not him, though. You can't.
What does that have to do with him portraying?
Yeah, you can't
Flash?
Blame that on him. No, I don't want to hear what Kwame says.
I blame it on the network.
I want to hear him. We hear you.
Explain to us what Banks is trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't know because I'm not up to where y'all are on the Flash. I just mean like for Batman, I have like a favorite Batman, and then I have someone who I think is a better Bruce Wayne, but a weaker Batman.
All right, well, thank you, Kwame.
Let me ask you, Kwame.
Yeah.
Look, Banks is crazy. I want to hear your opinion of what's your favorite Bruce Wayne and who's your favorite Batman.
George Clooney.
Please don't. It's Val Kilmer all day.
This is a very, very important question.
Yes, it is. I want to hear this.
I hope that you make the right
Banks.
I can see the sweat beads right now, bro.
I can see it too.
Hey, Banks, put your finger on the exit button real quick. Let me see what he says.
Get rid of the smudge.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one for me. If
I'm
gonna go for best Bruce Wayne.
Think hard.
I might have to go.
Say it, Christian Bale. Say it.
I kind of want to say Christian Bale.
Just say it. Hey,
I kind of want to say Christian Bale.
He's not
going to hurt Christian Bale.
I'm not going to discount him.
I want to see Patterson.
Oh yes, thank you.
Because I want more detective in my Bruce Wayne, but I also like the Bale did a good job of the pretending to be a playboy aspect of the faking the millionaire Bruce Wayne than anything else. And I feel like he's the only one who really nailed that. And that's why I like his Bruce Wayne so much. For the Batman, I'm too torn. I'm too torn on that.
I go
back and forth on it.
Michael Keaton.
Keaton's up there.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. But Keaton had that sweet suit,
bro.
Man. That's why
I know Kwame's gonna say it's between It's between Christian Bale's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman.
But you're always saying that though because it was so well written.
I'm just assuming that's what he's about to say. Am I right, Kwame?
I don't want to get murdered for saying Ben Affleck's Batman, but
Ben Affleck's Batman is fantastic.
I like the past his prime, tired of this shit. I'm just gonna hurt people Batman. That is I'm with that. I really like my wife might make me sleep on the couch because she calls him Fat Man. She doesn't like she thinks he looks a little too pudgy to be Batman.
But he's
the old man now.
But he's pudgy in Batman Beyond.
I'm just saying
he's pudgy in the Dark Knight comics and stuff like that.
That's true.
He's supposed to be pudgy. He's pudgy in A Death in the Family. He's a pudgy Batman. Dude.
That is true. I forgot about the animated Batman that they had him like past his prime. Dude, he was
what I'm saying.
Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
Yes, Dark Knight Returns. He was a little fridge.
Yeah, his body shape reminds me of Wildcat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. It's kind of like I remember when Arkham City had came out,
right?
And the pre-order was the Dark Knight Returns Batman, and people were saying like, well, "Why is Batman fat?" And it's crazy because it's like they don't know who the Dark Knight Batman is, and that comic, like, it's a really good comic. You know what I'm saying?
It's unfortunate that Christopher Nolan named it the Dark Knight when in reality he took a lot of the stuff from the Long Halloween era of Batman. Yeah, so it's really not a good portrayal of the title.
For sure.
Is what it is. But I always think people say Christian Bale because it's just such a damn good movie.
It is.
But Christian Bale's Batman is trash.
No, he's not.
Yes, him as Batman is trash. The writing is fantastic. The movie
I love Christian Bale's
but I don't like the voice.
No, that voice is garbage.
I don't like the voice.
Call me crazy.
His favorite line. Swear to me.
No. Yeah, both of my favorite lines is the swear to me and the one where the guy screams, "Where are you?"
Yeah, but both of those lines are in the Long Halloween comic. He took that from the comic. That line.
Well, that's what.
But the thing, look,
that's movie.
No, I'm saying that's a fire line.
It is.
Yeah, but
I want
swear to me.
Look, I want to.
I love your impression, Banks, bro.
I just want to see. Do it, Banks.
I love it.
Before I say what I'm saying.
Okay, Trav, let's reenact the scene. All right, so you're the guy with the hot dog. I just snatched you up. And then go ahead and say the line.
He said, I swear to God, man. Bro, you yelled so hard the mic couldn't even get it.
Yeah.
You flipped the mic, bro.
No, but what I wanted to say is I want to see more traditional Batman from back in the day. I want to see him mix in his gadgets and stuff. That's what I'm asking these people to do. Like, I don't want to see Batman in all these damn brawls and all this.
Well, I
still want to
James Bond Batman,
use the fucking hook shot to. Excuse me. Thanks,
blurt that
out. Look, man, I get emotional.
Passionate, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just emotional, man.
I'm about to start calling you Diamond Victor Griffith.
How'd it go?
Yeah, he does it like this. You don't do it like that. Copyright.
Yeah, that's Jay-Z right there,
baby.
Exactly. That's Jay-Z right there.
Hey, Griff put his own spin on it. He ain't trying to get hit with that
out, Banks.
You got to hit him with he hit you with the rocket pads.
No, but I mean, I want to see him, let me disarm people from a distance and let me snatch this guy. Like, come on, find a way to put it back in the movie.
And I still don't think we're going to get that in Batman with
Patterson.
Well, I mean, they said that they wanted to touch on more of his detective side. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'd be fine with that because it's something that we really never really got in any Batman.
Yeah, that's
movie.
What I mean.
The closest was Keaton, it's just right? Straight brawl for real.
Well, I know George Clooney did some stuff like when he had the fake coins for Two-Face and stuff. I mean, that was like the last time he used it.
That was Val Kilmer.
Was it Val? I get them mixed up.
Well, yeah, I'll say, Batman Forever. Like there was some detective stuff in that movie. It was minimum, but there was some in the movie.
Find a way to put it back. All right.
But I feel like in Batman and Robin, because there was detective stuff in it, but it was just like Batman. He already knew everything. Like he knew everything about Poison Ivy. He knew everything about Mr. Freeze.
Well, he also has scenes where he's doing the research too.
I don't even know
where he's sitting in the cave and he's actually doing research on some of these people. He does have scenes like that.
They need to research how to do a movie.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, look at his comics and stuff. He's
Hey,
like,
well,
why
look,
is he in a brawl with everybody?
hey, well, look, we'll save the, who's the best Batman for another
That's another
discussion,
day.
because that can go on for a long time. But Kwame, thank you again for joining us up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Kwame.
Let everybody know on social media land where they can find you at.
You can find me at Raised Fist Media on YouTube, or you can find me Kwame Norville on Facebook. You want to come check out my stuff. But yeah, no, go give a shout to Raised Fist Media, and thanks for having me. Always a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, you mean Raised Fist Podcast, right?
Hey,
coming soon.
I spoke it into existence, man. I thought you was about to be like, hey guys, Banks, he ruined it. But the
first episode is gonna be just who's the best version of blank, and we'll just debate it all for an hour. That's it. That's the first episode right there.
Hey, yeah, we sure can.
Hey,
I'm sure.
Hey, D, before I let you tell everybody in social media land where they can find you at, Kwame, are you going to be joining us on Facebook Live where we're going to be talking about Kong versus Godzilla?
You already know, fam.
Okay. Hey, that's all I needed to hear.
Oh,
now, D, go ahead and let them know where they can find you at.
That's going to be rebellious _D23 at Instagram.com. I didn't want to blow it up. Trav?
Hey, you almost sent Trav back into the Speed Force. You got to calm.
Oh, stop talking about that Speed Force. Oh, Lord.
Hey, Trav saw Iris there?
Bro, I was about to be like Bruce Banner, just come out my body.
Oh, my God.
Heard that.
And, you can find your boy on the Instagrams at ZK Audio. And if you're trying to go plus ultra and look for a hero, where they going to find one at, Banks?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Make sure that you check out all of our video reviews and interviews that we've released this week because your boys have been busy. And tomorrow we're going to have our video review for episode 0 of My Hero Academia season 5. So make sure you check that out. I'm pumped for it. I'm ready for it. Like I always tell everybody, keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.